The referendum on independence in Scotland, whether the Scots should vote to leave the United Kingdom or not, has been watched with fascination, amazement and alarm all across Europe and indeed the wider world. The Indian Foreign Minister said the other day, God forbid, when she was asked what she would think about an independent Scotland. But in Europe, it's very sensitive. Take Spain, for example. Both Catalonia and the Basque Country have been campaigning for their independence for years. They never expected the Scots to get in first. So they're going to be absolutely certain to demand a clear referendum themselves to decide whether they stay in Spain or not. The government in Madrid, which is horrified at that prospect, would certainly not make it easy for Scotland if they vote yes to rejoin the European Union. There would be a price to pay. It's not just Spain. In Italy too there are real problems. The German-speaking South Tyrol has long wanted to break away from the rule of Rome. And now Veneto, the region around Venice, which was independent for 1,000 years, also want to have their own say and see if they couldn't go back to being independent. It's not just nationalism. It's actually about the perceived incompetence and corruption in the capital. That may be a resentment in Italy about Rome. It's also a resentment in Scotland about London rule. They want to see things differently. And it's not just inside the European Union. What about Russia? You've got the Chechens who've been fighting for their independence, who will see Scotland as a model. And at the other end of the spectrum, you've got the Russian-speaking separatists in Ukraine who are fighting to break away from Kiev. So all over Europe, people will look at the Scottish model as something they'd like to follow. Whether Scotland votes yes or no, they want a say. So David Cameron, with his Scottish surname, has really opened a Pandora's box, and none of his fellow European leaders are going to thank him for it. This is Quentin Peel for the Financial Times in London.